name is Toby, also known as Tobworld, and I'm finally making another YouTube video after 7 long months. I got some new stickers for my sketchbook. I got a clown girl, a centipede girl, a Gengar, and a Sableye. The clown and the centipede were made by @Gremlin on Instagram. I will link it in the description. Today I'm gonna be hopping on the bandwagon and joining in on the starter pack doll trend, which is where if you were a doll, what things you'd come with in your pack, basically. I'm gonna be lining and coloring this sketch on the right. I've already done my own there, so that's my girlfriend's one. This started as an AI trend, so throughout this video I'm gonna be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is how much I hate AI. I hate it so much. I'm gonna give you some reasons as to why, as an artist, I find AI to be harmful. Apologies in advance for not talking about the artistic process behind this art, but I have a lot to say about AI. But you know, the sketch is there. I'm just lining and coloring. Except I do rub everything out at one point because I don't like the layout, but you'll see that, you know? It feels self-explanatory in a way. I'd rather take the time to talk about an issue that is impacting me and people around me, and you can look at some pretty art in the background. So yeah, just sit back, enjoy the art, and enjoy my inane ramblings. First and foremost, I want to talk about something that I've seen a concerning increase in, since AI has become more readily accessible, which is the devaluation of human creativity. So, art is fundamentally about human experience. Every piece of art tells a story or conveys an emotion, and it's reflecting on, a journey or struggles or joys that the artist has had. So when we think about great works of art, we often remember the context in which they're created, the background, the cultural movements they were a part of, and, the unique perspective that the artist has brought to their work. But AI-generated art lacks this personal touch. So while AI is producing these pieces, they do it without the understanding of the emotional depth behind it. So the absence of human experience is leading to art that's created by machines that's being seen as equal to or even superior to the work of human artists, which dilutes the value of human-made artwork. AI can generate art at an astonishing speed. A complex painting that would take a human artist like weeks or months to create can be produced by an AI in just seconds or minutes. So while the rapid production is maybe impressive to some, it raises some serious questions about the time and effort that go into creating meaningful art. When speed becomes the priority, the value of the creative process is diminished. Audiences start to favor quick AI-generated pieces over those that are crafted with care and actual thought. The shift in preference can potentially lead to a culture that's prioritizing efficiency over artistry, which is making it harder and harder for human artists to find appreciation for their slower and more deliberate creative processes. So, consumers starting to favor AI pieces because they're cheaper and faster and readily available is diminishing the art market significantly. I've seen artists struggling to sell their art because people have said, you're charging far too much and AI could do this for free. But in an art market that's increasingly valuing that over originality and creativity, the unique voices and perspectives of human artists are being completely drowned out. So there's fewer opportunities for artists to showcase their work and connect with the audiences because AI is stealing that. I've also seen a lot of artists who have been really uninspired or have kind of reached a stagnation in their artistic evolution because innovation comes from exploring new ideas and experimenting with techniques and pushing boundaries, and artists feeling like their work isn't valued anymore or that it's easier for an AI to replicate are less inclined to explore their creative potential. So in this regard, AI is doing nothing but causing harm to the art community. Another thing that you might have seen a lot of artists talking about is AI stealing artwork and art styles. So there is an undoubtable unauthorized use of creative works within the AI scene, which means that AI models, they require data for training to make their algorithms, which is often sourced from the internet, which includes numerous copyrighted artworks. And many artists are unaware that their creations are being used in this way, which is, a violation of their rights. So the AI is learning how to make AI art, and it's learning by stealing the style of real artists, like specific, nuances about their artwork are being fed into this machine, which then replicates it without permission. So it raises, legal concerns, ethical concerns about ownership, and there's just a blatant disrespect for the original creators' rights and their artwork. Another thing is plagiarism and style appropriation, which is, there's just been a complete loss of originality when AI can generate artworks that so closely mimic a real artist's art style. It's blatant plagiarism. You will have seen it in the Studio Ghibli, like imagine yourself as a Studio Ghibli character AI trend, where people are then made to look like they're in a Studio Ghibli movie, but it's no longer just inspiration, it is blatant imitation. It's a situation where the unique contributions of Miyazaki, or any artist, are completely diminished because a machine is replicating their work. As AI art becomes more accessible and affordable, the market is becoming flooded with these low-cost alternatives to real artists. So this oversaturation is going to make it increasingly difficult for artists to sell their work at fair prices, which then leads to financial instability and, not being able to get commissions anymore because people are getting a robot to do it instead. On this, if people's unique art styles can be replicated by AI, it means that people can potentially be losing their jobs in creative industries. So, graphic design, illustration, fine art, animation, stuff like that. If you've got a unique art style that AI can replicate, studios who only care about money are not going to want to hire human artists anymore because AI is seen as the cheap and affordable option, as opposed to, hiring real people. So human creativity is again being undervalued and undermined by this. I don't know what the current copyright laws are, but I'm sure that they're struggling to keep up with the rapid development of AI because AI generated art doesn't really fit neatly into legal frameworks, so artists are gonna find it challenging to protect their work. If an AI creates a piece that closely resembles their original work, proving infringement is gonna be complicated because how do you prove that one of them is yours and one of them was stolen from you by a machine? How do you prove that? And that's gonna leave real artists feeling super vulnerable and unprotected. And even beyond the legal implications, there's an ethical dimension because artists are pouring passion, time, and energy into their creations when AI just uses their work without consent. So there's no integrity anymore, and art becomes just a product, not a reflection of human experience. I've never understood how supporters of AI will argue that it's helping the art community and it's making art accessible, because art has always been accessible. I've been drawing since I was very little, and pencils and papers aren't exactly hard to come by. So, yeah, that was my 2 cents, whatever, my opinion on AI art and the debate around it. I think it's bad. Using AI is bad, and I guess that's my final stance on it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is the starter packs that I made for me and my girlfriend, the finished results. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.